Hi, my name is Michael Lane. I'm currently in mastering at Full Sail University. Today in this podcast, I will be covering the issues with home studio monitoring. The room that I will be analyzing is my friend's bedroom. This is where he does all of his mixing. The monitors I will be using is the JBL's LSR 305 two-way monitors, which have a 43 Hz to 24 kHz frequency response. For my interface, I'm using the Scarlett 6i6 by Focusrite. The microphone I will be using is the Sennheiser E835. It's not ideal, but will have to do. The microphone is a dynamic mic, so as you can see, from about 4 kHz, there's about a 5 dB boost. This here is an analyzation from the listening position. As you can see, there's a weird dip at around 100 Hz. Then it sort of bounces around from about 150 Hz through about 1.50 kHz. Then it drops down again at about 1.70 kHz through 3 kHz. Then you can see the boost at around 4K from the microphone. This image here is a screenshot from the left room analyzation. For some reason, it looks like it's picking up a lot of low, mid, and low-end frequencies. I think there's some comb filtering going on that's causing the dips between 100 Hz and 1 kHz. As you can see, the dynamic mic is boosting some of the high end up until about 7 kHz. Here's an analyzation from the right side of the room. For some reason, the mic was picking up a lot of low end and not so much the high end. The high mids seem to just be bouncing around crazy. There's not much consistency going on. And again, you can see the high frequencies boost in the analyzer from the mic. This is an analyzation from the back of the room. This area is probably one of the worst spots to mix because the perception in the frequency response is very inaccurate. As you can see, there's no real consistency in accurate frequency from 10 Hz through 1 kHz. Even the high end isn't accurate because it's bouncing all over the place. This analyzation is from the center of the room. As you can see, the low mids and low end up to about 1 kHz is all over the place. Oddly though, the high end is a little more consistent. One thing that is off on the high end though is from about 4 kHz through 7 kHz because you're not seeing the boost from the mic like you should. Now, there's several ways you could go about fixing this, but what I did is I chose to show you the way that I would do it. Here's an image that I tried to recreate his room so you could better see how it was set up. It's almost 100% accurate, except I couldn't figure out how to show his bathroom leading into his room. One way he could fix the problem is by rearranging his room. Here's the image I created to show you how I'd rearrange his room. By rearranging his room, it will allow his monitors to be a little more accurate because it will be in the center instead of being right next to the wall. Also, he could get stands so that his monitors could be at a proper height or use some books. Another thing he could do is fix the angle of his monitors, because when I did the analysis, his monitors were facing straight out instead of being angled. By doing that, it will help your interpretation of the sound, creating a sweet spot. Other things he could do to help fix some of the issues is to buy bass traps. These particular ones are by Auralex. By buying bass traps, these will help to soak up a lot of the extreme low end we've been seeing throughout all the different analyzations. Another thing he could do is to get a pair of P Art Science space arrays to help diffuse, which will help with comb filtering. Another thing I would do is get some acoustic wall panels to put on the walls. I think by doing this, it should be a good start to getting the room to sound right. Thanks for watching.